you've had this big move and there's a lot of stress and intensity involved. At that point, you love him. You give him a lot of grace and you love him and the academics don't matter at that moment. His heart matters.
When you have a kiddo that's having a breakdown from a move, what would you say is your go-to or a couple of maybe go-to things to really help them overcome that moment?
Sometimes you just have to let it happen. Because you've had this big move and there's a lot of stress and intensity involved. Whether you're feeling it consciously or whether it's just beneath the surface and you don't recognize it. If it's just like a sort of a meltdown type moment, I just kind of let that happen and I sit there with them and let them have that, because who hasn't sort of had a bit of a meltdown? I have over a move.
Yes. Totally. I was getting ready to just raise my hand.
Yeah. But there are also times where, and this is going years back, so I'm not trying to call out like a teenager or anything. This is not that. Where behaviors have just changed drastically after the move and trying to figure that out. And when that happens, I give a lot of grace and space. You don't want to write? Don't write.
Okay.
You don't want to read? Don't read. Let's go outside. You want to take a walk? Let's go outside. And allowing those emotions to be processed, because half the time, especially if they're younger, they don't even know what they're trying to process.
Yeah.
And I did have a young kid at some point have a really hard move, and he was very different after the move, just really moody and not like himself. And then he blew up one day and lost it. And I realized that he was struggling, not just with missing people, but being angry that we moved him. And so at that point, you love him. You give him a lot of grace and you love him and the academics don't matter at that moment. His heart matters. Yeah. And you remind him that, his family's with him. Jesus is always with him. And he's that friend that will never leave. He's going to be closer. And as much as he misses his friends, we love him and Jesus loves him. And that's what matters. His heart matters. Yeah. And the relationship with the family matters. And when you do it when they're younger, as they get older, they can kind of tell you, I hate that I have to move. Or, I'm struggling, or I don't want to, rather than just that feeling of, I don't know what all of this is.
Yeah. But giving them the space to learn how to speak about that is precious. That is doing those young men and young ladies such a favor. As they get older, they will know how to communicate their emotions with anyone, with their friends, with their spouses, with their children, and giving them space to have those emotions, I think, is really, really important.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.